many other things are injurious to our health. So we are going to try and see how best we can do simple meal preparation, which will help us to save time because we are very busy. Sometimes we are caught up in traffic. Sometimes we have too much work at home, outside home, but that doesn't mean that we should eat unhealthy. We can still have healthy meals because nutrition is the key to good health. And by saving time, doesn't have to be costly for healthy meals. And part of the way to have healthy meals is to reduce or avoid adding salt and adding oil onto our meals. So today we have a demonstration of actual meal, and I'm going to start by talking about a healthy meal before I start actual cooking. And so we need to know, what does it mean to have a healthy meal? And just a moment. We are going to talk about preparing healthy, great tasting meals. And as I said, we are going to look at these three objectives. And this is because there's a lot of information out there on health, especially on food consumption. It's not all accurate. Some is not, because some is generated by marketing companies, and the aim is to actually promote their products, which are not always healthy. So the bottom line is for good health with scientific backing is actually to consume whole foods, foods that have not been gone through processes, too many processes, whole food, plant-based. Plant-based because plants are a source of so many nutrients that are good for our health, not so with animal products. So actually, what does it mean, whole food, plant-based? This I have slightly explained about food as it's grown, food as you get it from the plant that is minimally processed. This includes as many whole grains. We have brown rice, we have millet, we have sorghum, we have many grains. Then we have fruits, all types of fruits, citrus like oranges, tangerines, we have bananas and kiwi, many fruits that are found in our part of the world. Vegetables, all types of vegetables, and legumes. These include beans and lentils and other legumes. So we'll start with saving time. I will be a bit quick because we also need to save time for this presentation as much as we learn. So to save time is important for everyone because we have other activities besides food preparation. The first way in our kitchen is to prepare salads ahead of time. Actually, a salad bar is something that is a requirement for every family because when you come home, we are used to eating cooked vegetables. But when you have salad, you can interchange. You can have cooked vegetables, it's okay. You can have salad because raw vegetables actually have a lot of nutrients which have not been lost during cooking. So when you prepare salad, it takes time, washing, cutting, chopping, and putting the salad together. But if you prepare ahead of time, you actually save a lot of time. That means if you have time, like on a Sunday like today, and you don't have to go to work, you can do all your preparation for salad, which you'll have for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or interchangeably. So today we have simple salad. I will start by showing that, how to do salad preparation. And the first thing in the kitchen is to wash our hands. And I'll do that and start preparing the salad. So we have some vegetables. For example, we have the carrot. So I have a carrot here. If you have the carrot from your kitchen garden, you can just wash it and pat it dry with a paper towel or your food towel, and it be dry for you to start making. If you put it in the market, probably it was sprayed with pesticide, or they use chemical fertilizers or something. So you can actually peel it. You can use a peeler, small peeler, just peel it, wash it, and make sure that it is dry. That's the most important thing. So after you have it ready, you can take a simple grater, and you have a container. So probably I put it this side so you can easily see. So here we are with our grater and the carrot. Well, we can do grating easily. I can show you on another camera. So we have our container and the grater, and you can grate it. And not one, just make many of them so that you have a lot. So what I did before is I grated and I kept in the glass container. So I have a few carrots I've grated, and this is glass, and that's the lid. It should be airtight. Remember, the carrot was dry, and grating it, it doesn't need to be wet, because if you keep your salad when it's wet, it will spoil within 1 or 2 days. It will be slimy and it will not be good to enjoy. So you grate the carrots and keep in tight fitting container in your fridge. And you can also use cucumber. Wash it just like the carrot and make sure it's dry. So what we do, you can use a paper towel, just dry it, or you can leave it to drain. You don't have to wipe all the vegetables. You can wash and leave them to drain. When they are dry, you can do it. So with the cucumber, you can cube just how you like it, bigger pieces or small ones, and then you also store it same way like the carrots. So that is cucumber. I've done a bit like 3 of them, and depending on your family size, you can keep as much as you wish and for the number of meals you want to have it for. Another vegetable we can do is cabbage. Cabbage is a common vegetable we have. So that's a piece of my cabbage. The cabbage, we wash it and let it drain, because you cannot wipe inside of the cabbage, everything. So once it's drained, just use your simple peeler, the bigger one, just to make small pieces. And this one, it's easy to have moisture inside the container. So what you do, you take your paper towel, and this is your container for storing the cabbage, and line it with a paper towel below. And then I have some cabbage I have prepared, so I will show you how to keep it. So you have made your small pieces of cabbage. What you will do, you have your lined container. You can just put them, don't remove the paper, just put the cabbage in and keep it with the paper in, because after 1 or 2 days, the cabbage has it will produce moisture on the glass container. So it's better to have it with a paper towel in. Not only cabbage, you can do this with lettuce or with any other vegetable to just keep them fresh. And then you can have that ready in your fridge. Also, we can do pepper. Pepper is pili-pili hoho. We have different colors, and this makes a good coloring for the salad. So just cut the size which you would like, and you can store them in this manner, and you can have as much as you want to prepare. Lastly, we have celery. I was just choosing the vegetables that are readily available with us, but there are so many vegetables. Like I'm here in Asia, we have so many vegetables that I couldn't present here because we don't have them back home. So I chose a few which we actually have that you can make simple salad. So celery in its real form is just a long strip like that. We don't need to put the leaves. We actually need the celery stalk. That's what we will eat. So we wash this one, cut it into small cubes. And that's how it looks like in our container. So just keep it. This you can use also as an ingredient, just for salad. You can just use it to fry other soups, stews, other vegetables. So it's not just for making salad. We can also actually use onions. We have a lot of red onions in Kenya. So red onion makes a very good also ingredient to make salad. And once you have the vegetables cut and stored, you can also use them as cooked vegetables later. Assuming you've had salad Monday and Tuesday, and Wednesday you don't want to have salad, you can steam the cabbage, or you can mix the pepper and the carrot and the cabbage and then stir fry. Just put little water and just fry in the pan, and that will make a nice cooked vegetable for you. The only thing that maybe will not cook is the cucumber. So cucumber will just add as salad, but all these others, you can either keep them, use them as salad, or if you like cooked vegetable, then you can interchange. Use them because they are ready. You can use them for other preparations. Once we have all these as base vegetables, we can add in many things, anything that is healthy that you like into your salad. You see, we don't have any oil here, but we always recommend a handful of nuts. So if you eat a handful of nuts by themselves, you will have a craving to have more. But if you have like peanuts or almonds or walnuts, you can add them into your salad, and you will have a source of oil as much as also the nutrients from the nuts. Another thing, we can even add our beans. Once we have boiled beans and we haven't fried them, we can put them into the salad. It will add some protein into that. We can add chickpeas or any other legumes that we have cooked other than the lentil, but the beans, all types of beans we can add to the salad. We can also add tomatoes. I did not prepare tomato beforehand. We cannot do that because tomato will not sustain being kept for a while. So for the tomato, we will add it just when we are about to serve the salad. Another thing, we can have fruits enhanced in our salad. For example, we have oranges, or we have kiwi fruit. Those are kind of fruits which you can cut. Tangerine, you can cut into small pieces. Pineapple makes a very good salad. Pineapple and cabbage, it's very tasty. Or you can also add the carrot. Carrot, pineapple, and cabbage, it makes a very tasty salad. We can also add dried fruits. Those are fresh fruits we can add, and also dried fruits. So we can have these as base vegetables, but also do different types of salad every day using those ingredients. Another way that we can save time is the second point, to save cut vegetables in our freezer. When you come home in the evening, you don't have the time to start washing and cutting and cooking the vegetable. But if it's washed, cut, and frozen, we get it from the freezer and just make a quick meal. So example, like we can freeze eggplant. We have eggplant, this, wash it, make sure your vegetables are always dry. So wash and dry it so it's not dripping with the water you used to wash, and you can cut it. Then I have a sample of cut eggplant. So you can have like small pieces cut, or you can fill up the container and freeze them. When you come to make a stew in the evening, chop your onion, put celery, put your eggplant, and you can stir and put any other vegetable you have, and it will be quick. We also have sukuma wiki, kale. If we have a kitchen garden, well, you can just go right and get and cook it. But if you have to buy and come and prepare, it's better that you cut and freeze it, and just when you come home, you can easily fix the meal. And also we have other indigenous vegetables. We have saga, we have amaranth, all that can be frozen. Just washing, let them drain the water, and then freezing them in our freezer, ready to use. That's a second way of saving time in the kitchen. Another way is we have vegetables that we can steam. For example, we can steam the cabbage, as I mentioned before. So we have our cabbage, we can steam it, or we have broccoli. I'll show you using my steamer. And steamer is an easy equipment to use because it only has two parts. This is the part that holds the water, and that's the part you put the vegetables. It has the holes on it. So put the water and just put that on top. Put your vegetables, and then you can put your lid, or you can, if you're just doing 1 or 2 minutes, it can just steam this way. But the lid, make sure that the vegetables on top are also steamed. So what we need to do when we use a steamer, do not fill this container with water. Just put little water, because all we need is the steam. And so if you have the little water that you have put in and you have steamed and it's remaining, so if you put too much on this, it will be too much water remaining. But if you put little water, you have done with the steaming. That water, do not pour it into the sink. That is important water because it contains the nutrients from the vegetables which you steamed. What you can do is just to get a container, glass container, and just put your water in. After it has cooled, you can keep it in the fridge, or you can use it to prepare the next stew which you have. Your soup or your salad dressing, you can do that using that water, which already has nutrients. So we don't need to use like plain water. We can use water which already has some nutrients in them. Okay, I see some questions coming up in the chat, but I will answer them at the end. So how, again, we can save time is by cooking grains. For example, we have our rice, which we are going to cook today. Cooking our grains and making extra that we can use. We don't just cook for the dinner or for that time only, but we can use it like cook more, which you can use dinner and maybe tomorrow lunch or tomorrow evening. And the way you can do it, once it's cooked, only serve into small container, like for that serving size. You cannot use a big container to serve the food, because once you put it in the fridge, it will mean that you will cut half of this and then serve out of it. But if you have a small container, just serve enough for one meal, so that when you are going out, you just have your food ready. I'll show you what I have in my fridge. Yeah, for example, this is rice. So we have rice that is only in one serving size. So if I want to go out, I can just take this and put together my salad, and I have my lunch box ready to go. So out there you are busy, but you have your lunch ready. So we can do cooking of extra grains. We can also cook beans or legumes ahead of time. This we do many times, and just freeze them so that you can use them later. When you come home, just fry and make meal quickly. Actually, you don't need to spend a whole hour in the kitchen in the evening. You can just spend half an hour and still prepare a very healthy meal. Eat early and sleep before it's too late. When the digestion already starts, you have already eaten early. So we encourage eating early. So if you prepare meals early, you will also have some time before your sleep time. And another thing, when we cook the beans and we are making stew, we can actually blend or make a paste of the beans, some of the beans, so that you can actually use them to thicken the beans which you are cooking. Like the bean stew, you are frying beans, and a part of the beans, you just blend them and then use that as a thickener. And also we can thicken using pumpkin or sweet potato, just mash and just use it while you're frying. That makes your meal actually tasty as well. So yes, those are some of the tips for saving time. And before we actually start cooking our food, I would like to respond to the questions on saving time so that we do not leave someone behind. And I see on the chat, there's a question about, does freezing destroy the vitamin contents of fruits? Well, there are three things that actually destroy the nutrients in our fresh fruits and vegetables. One is heat, when we heat. Two is light. And three is oxygen. So heat, when we cook or we leave them out, they keep the content of the nutrients still goes down. But when we freeze, we stop the ripening process, and we also, it helps the nutrients not to get spoiled as they are kept in the cold temperature. The only thing is that we cannot keep them for too long until we have something we call freeze burn. That means that when you look at your frozen food, you can see like it was burnt, like it had been cooked. That means that it has been stored for too long. So we can keep them for easier preparation, but it does not destroy the nutrients if we don't keep them for too long. So I encourage, if you have a lot of produce from your farm, vegetables or fruits, you can actually freeze them, because freezing is away from the heat, which actually destroys the nutrients. The other question is about eggplant oxidizes very fast and changes color once cut. How we can preserve its original color? So eggplant, we will not leave it in the air once we cut it. Eggplant, apple, those are things that actually oxidize. Oxidize means that it reacts with oxygen. That's why I have been emphasizing that we need to put in airtight containers. So what we can do is cut and prepare and put them as fast as we can. We cannot cut and leave them on the countertop and to prepare them later. That will change the whole color. It's also the same as apples. Sometimes when we are eating, like the apple, we just put lime juice or lemon juice on it. But now we are not going to eat. We are going to keep them in the freezer. So the best is just to avoid the contact with oxygen as much as possible, which is this eggplant. I cut it sometime before we started this presentation. But if I leave it here for a while, it will become another color. So it's because it reacts with oxygen. That's why I said the three things that actually react with our vegetables and fruits are heat, oxygen, and lime. So I think I will go on and then I will talk about, okay, celery, green clean leaves, can they be used somewhere and how? I'm not sure of a recipe at the moment, which I can talk about the leaves because we usually use the celery stalk. I don't know, that I can check later, or if anyone knows about celery leaves, they can add to that, but I have no idea about that. So yeah, those were the three questions. Then we can go straight to making our food preparation now. So other question we can answer at the end. So do not hesitate to put your question ahead so we can answer it together. So what we are going to do, we are going to cook brown rice. Brown rice takes a long time and it discourages many people from cooking. But what we can do with the brown rice, I have brown rice here, 1.5 cups. According to the recipe that I've put up, it's called zesty lime and cilantro brown rice. Why zesty lime and cilantro? Cilantro is coriander, dania, so it's not something strange. We are going to use dania. I have cut some of it, it's ready. And zesty lime, because brown rice can get so bland. When you cook it and just eat it like that, some people cannot stand the taste, especially if you are used to eating white rice or you are used to putting oil and salt in it. So we are going to make our brown rice tasty by using lime and not just the juice. Okay, this is the lime. Lime is green. Mine is white because I have removed the cover. I grated it using the small part of the grater and put it in a container because we are going to use it in the rice. And I left the lime intact. I will cut it and squeeze the juice and also add to the rice. So if you want to have your brown rice tasty, the first thing is look for herbs, not just coriander. Coriander is just what is very readily available. You can use thyme, parsley, you can use any fresh spice that you have, that you like, and add to the rice. And that will make it tasty without adding any salt and without adding oil. So both foods we are going to cook, we are not going to put oil or salt. So the first thing we are going to do, I want to show you at the pot. So I will go back here. You can see my pot there. I put boiling water and I've left it to boil. Why? You don't start cooking rice with cold water. It will take so long time. And we don't stir rice when it's cooking because we disturb the starch and it starts becoming thick and mushy. Once the water boils and we put the rice in, that's it. So what we are going to do, we are going to wash our rice as the water is boiling. So I go here and clean the rice. This as well you can do before. I already measured 1.5 cups of it. Just because of saving time, I had to do a few preparations ahead of time. So we have our rice here, and then I will take a pot, another pot, and use my measuring cup. The water is almost boiling because I put it as I was talking. For brown rice, it needs more water than white rice. For white rice, we put 1/2 cup of rice for 1 cup of water. For brown, we put 1/2 cup of rice for 1.25 cup. So I put slightly more on the recipe. I put 4 cups, but for 1.5, so that depending on the amount of heat that you put, it can easily evaporate the water. So we are going to use 4 cups of boiling water. As you can see at the pot, the water is starting to boil. So we are going to use this, put in another pot, and just keep the rice starting to cook. Another way to save time in the kitchen is start cooking the foods that take more time fast. The salad is almost ready, it's just serving, so we don't need to care about it at this time. Let's start with the rice, we get it cooking, and then we will serve. So the water is boiling now, you can see the bubbles. I'll put off the heat for safety purpose, and then I will measure 4 cups of water. So I use the drain, so in case it pours, it doesn't bring burns in the kitchen. So that's 2 cups, and then another 2 cups. So that makes 4. Once we have the 4, we put up the heat, put in the rice gently so that the water does not splash on you, and reduce the heat now. Doesn't have to be quick. And then we'll take a lid and cover it, and we'll keep watching it as it cooks. So that's done. The next thing, for our rice, we already have 1/2 cup of fresh coriander, which is already chopped. And then for the lime, I will take my squeezer. I will cut the lime into 2. And then I'll do it here where we can easily see near the kitchen.
Anita, can you just adjust your camera to catch a bit of your kitchen, your sink, or where you are cooking? Just a bit, yeah. It's more to outside a bit, so you can adjust it so that you can see what you are doing with your pots.
Can you see now?
No, just move it. I think you just need to move it.
It actually shows.
Okay, if it can't, don't worry, but we will take it by faith.
No, there are 2 cameras.
We can see you. Yeah, the other camera is not catching. It's not catching the area of cooking. Okay. We are seeing you, and we are seeing the table where you are preparing, but not the where the pots are.
All right. So I have this as another. Well, I can see it here because I have it as another participant. There are 2 Anita in this, so.
All right. So it's okay.
So I don't know how everyone can see that. So actually.
No, don't worry. No, just continue. I think we are getting the.
It shows Anita the part I'm preparing, and the part. The cooking part is also another Anita on the gallery.
All right.
probably
Okay.
put your view to, not speaker, put your view to side by side, then you can see two Anita.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Can you see this part? Okay. Is it visible for everyone?
Yes, now we can see now. We can see the cooker here.
Well, I have 3 cameras, so maybe I'll spotlight one by one so that this is the cooking part where the rice is boiling, and I hope you can see the cooking part now.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm doing my lime juice. We need a 1/4 cup of lime juice to add onto the rice. Well, after you test it, you can find that I use lime juice because it's actually very strong in flavor and taste. But if you need more than a 1/4 cup in a later recipe, it will be no problem to do that. That's a 1/4 cup of lime juice, so I put it aside. And then I have to go back to the I need to go back to the cook. Okay, well, now I'm back here to put together the ingredients for the rice. So we have coriander. I'll put it in, so here. And then I need garlic, which is finely chopped. So garlic is also something which you can prepare ahead of time. These are 3 cloves of garlic that I will chop finely and put onto the rice. I don't need to put this. If I chop them finely, it means that when you eat, they will not be bitter in the mouth. They just give you the aroma and a good taste. So when we mix this with the lime, it actually makes the rice tastier. Okay. How to do it finely is do not raise your knife. That's something maybe we can also learn as we go along. When you are chopping your garlic, if you look here, if you want to make it fine, just keep your knife on the board. Do not bring it up like this. It splashes the garlic all over and you cannot have it finely chopped. So when you put them together, just keep your knife down, and when you chop like that, it will make it very fine. So I'll take it back, put it together with the coriander. And then I also need lemon juice. I'm sure you're wondering why I'm putting both lemon and lime, but lime is very strong, as I said. So I have my lime juice here, and I'll use only a tablespoon. But what I'll do with the lime, what I'll do with the lemon, so I need to wash it. What I'll do with the lemon is I will cut it and put it in the thin slices of the lemon as well. So I will make a tablespoon first. That means I will squeeze it like I did for the lime. And get a tablespoon of that. And I put it in the lime. Then I'll mix it together. If it's too strong, you don't need to put the lemon with the peel. But if the juice alone, this will depend on the taste. If the juice alone is good for you because we have different tastes, then you don't need to put this. But if you need a stronger taste and make the rice more appealing, then you can actually put in a thin slice of the lemon. So I put this together and I'll put them aside. We will use them once the rice is cooked, not right now. So I will cover it and leave it on my table on the side. And we'll prepare the next thing. So I'll talk a bit about not using oil, because you see, we have not put oil in our rice, we have not put salt in, but it's not only rice we are going to cook in our kitchen. So we are going to have different cooking methods and different ways of replacing the oil. And the first I will show is sauteing. Sauteing is what we use in most foods. So when you have your pot, do not put a lot of water. I'll try to keep bringing my video back so we can see both places. So here, this is my pot for cooking something, another different dish. What you can do when you want to cook without oil is just to put a tablespoon, not a lot of water, because it will make it very watery. Just a tablespoon of water. And you can put your onion, you can put, and then when they start browning, you keep stirring because vegetables will stick and they will burn. So that's the amount of water that we need when we are sauteing or stir frying. Stir frying means that we do not cook vegetables in a very deep pot. Actually, this is a better show. This kind of pot, it's very shallow. You can see, like, it's not like a normal pot. Just frying them lightly, and this we can do without using oil, just using the water as we measured in the other pot. So that's one method. The other way is roasting vegetables. So when we are roasting vegetables, Like I talked of the eggplant. Eggplant is most delicious when it's actually roasted. That's just putting it in the oven for a few minutes. And if you have oven with the option of roasting, that's easy. You can just have your eggplant and spray, just use a sprinkler like this. This is just one of the ways you can just spray water on it. So just use it because it's a sprayer. You can see how it sprays, little water, spray on the vegetables. And what you can do to actually make the vegetables flavorful, you put first your spices, like you can put powders like garlic powder, you can put cumin powder, or the dried herbs, you can put them, mix the vegetables, and instead of using olive oil or canola oil to put in the vegetable, just spray with water. They will brown. If when you put in the oven, you put in a low heat. If you put very high heat, they will dry up and they'll become black. But you put low heat and you spray them and turn them often, and you can roast without using oil. Now it comes to the method where we use a lot of oil, which is deep frying. We make mandazi, we make potato fries, we make all the deep fried foods, samosas with oil. So what are we going to do? Deep frying, I will show you an equipment because this is what I have used. And if you're able to get it, it's easier if you actually have, like, I have young children who like potato fries, but instead of going to the restaurant to buy potato fries, which have a lot of oil and salt, I use an air fryer. So I'm going to show you just how it looks. Some of you could be using it. Some would see it for the first time. It's a very easy equipment. So it's a big one, so I'll carry it for everyone to see. That's an air fryer. And it's easy to use because here it has a menu of different kinds of foods: roasting, frying, and then it has vegetables. It has a lot of menu. So you just, it only has these two, like these two parts. So you cut your potatoes and you put them in here. And before you put them in here, actually for them to be tasty, you boil them for about 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, so that they are easily cooked. This one uses a lot of heat. The only way is when you cook your potato, and when you're putting it here, you will use less time and less heat because it goes up to 200 degrees Celsius, which is very high, like the oven. But when you are cooking like potato, then you reduce your temperature to 180, because when we cook foods on a very high temperature, then it's not good for us as well. So just put here when you have parboiled, that means just cook them, boil them a little bit on the pot. So you can use this. It brings out potato chips like those in the restaurant, which do not have oil. And you can also actually use this one instead of the oven to roast the eggplant and any other foods. Another equipment I have here, I needed to show at least few equipments that can help us to save time that we can invest in. I have an instant pot. I've said that we can see our rice still boiling on the pot. Over there, you can see the steam coming up. But sometimes I don't have to do this. What I need to do, I use an instant pot. I have a small instant pot here. This one, I put here rice and it cooks so quickly. It's like a pressure cooker, what we used to use in the olden times, but it has no noise. It doesn't keep, making noise and putting steam off in the room, it's just quiet. There are many options and foods to cook here, right? You can do rice, beans. Beans here I cook within, I put only 2 minutes, but as the pressure builds up, and then it uses 2 minutes to cook, and then it removes the pressure by itself. So the time I open, my beans are already cooked. So we can use this for batch cooking. Other than, if you don't have this equipment, it doesn't mean you won't have a healthy meal. You can do it ahead of time. So I'm just trying to integrate ways which we can save time and still have healthy meals. So now we go to cooking without salt. Without salt, when we are used to salt, salt makes our food tasty and our taste buds are actually activated. But if we learn to reduce, we start by reducing, everything is gradual. In lifestyle, we don't have a magic pill that will change things tomorrow. So gradually reduce the amount of salt intake, and then get to a point where you can actually cook without salt. How we can do this? We use spices. Spices are healthy, dried spices. What we can use, we have a few I can show. I have basil, I have oregano, I have basil. These are some of them actually, they are available in our markets, in our local markets. So we can use different, we have ginger, this is tangawizi, what we use for making tea masala or ginger tea. So we can use also dried coriander. We had fresh coriander, so we can use, so different types. We can use garlic powder and also use fresh garlic. So if we can be able to get a few dried herbs and spices, we can use this instead of using salt, and the food will still be tasty. So I said something like parsley. Parsley is, you can have it dried actually, or you can have fresh one. Lemon juice, like we are going to put lemon juice in our rice, it's going to make it tasty without salt. And also we can make like kachumbari. We have salsa, that's tomato with onion, and add onto this, onto our food. It makes it without using salt. So the next thing we are going to do is prepare lentil and lemon stew. So we are still using our lemon, and we are going to serve it with the rice and the salad which we had prepared before. So I will just go right into the lentil. Lentil, we have different types, and this is the one we are going to use today, the orange one. And usually there is a confusion. This takes a lot of time to cook it. A little more time, actually not a lot, but a little more. This is yellow and this is orange. Slight color, this is thinner. So we are going to use this one to make the soup because it makes it actually faster. This one, you can use it even to make a salad because it's firm. Once you cook it, it does not disintegrate like that one into a stew. This one you can put and make a nice salad out of the yellow one. So I'll just show you because we don't get confused. We are going to use half a cup of the lentil and 4 cups of water. So first, lentil makes a lot of stew, so that's why I'm just using half a cup. But depending on how many people you have at home, you can actually measure according to your need. So I will come back here near the cooking place and measure half a cup of lentil. This one is a measuring cup for rice, but I can use it, half a cup of it. my rice. I reduced the heat too much and it went off. Okay. So it's still cooking. The water is almost done. Brown rice takes about 25 minutes. So if you are preparing meals for about half an hour to 40 minutes, you can put the rice as the first thing. And as we are talking, it's almost ready. So half a cup of the orange lentils. We wash them. And they're ready here. And then we need 4 cups of water. This one is not already boiled water, so we just measure 4 cups of normal water from the tap. Why we are putting 4 cups is because we want to make the stew without adding cold water in between. So you can see like it's only half a cup of lentil, but we are putting 4 cups of water because I don't want to add cold water when it's cooking. This water, I'll use it until the end. So I'll put in and open it and open the pot so that it starts boiling. So I'll put high heat. It's not like the rice. So I will put high heat to bring it to boil. And then I will reduce as I go by. So we have here our lentil, we have here our rice. And then once it boils, we'll reduce the heat and cook it slowly and covered. So we are waiting for that. We will use celery, 1 celery stalk. So I already prepared my celery for salad. So that's why I said we can use this as an ingredient. So I'm going to get from here celery to use for my lentil stew. So I did this, they were like 3 stalks. So I will just put averagely 1 stalk on another container that I will use. This one, I'll keep it to make another food or a salad later. So I have the celery, and then I need coriander. So we use coriander for the rice, it's aside. So whatever remains here, I will use it also. So this helps, I was using similar ingredients to avoid wasting food. Because if you make one food and then you don't need this ingredient for the next meal or for the next dish, then it will stay in the fridge and somehow you will pour it out. But if you use it in both, then you don't make any waste. So we have coriander ready. And then garlic. I will use garlic. So I already chopped for the rice, but I will chop again. I have some more remaining, so I will chop again for the lentil. And I have a lemon. So this lemon, I only put the juice for the rice. So what I will do, I will cut thin slices and make it ready for the lentil. And I will use it both inside and as an garnish for the outside. So I will show you on the other video here. Spotlight it. And here we are. So that lemon which I used and it remained, I will just cut thin slices of half a lemon. So you can see that I use half for the rice. So I cut a thin slice. It's not a rule that you have to put all the lemon in, but at least some lemon to make it tasty. So half is good because already half is used for the rice. We are not wasting any ingredients in our cooking today, so we will use for both dishes. So my lemon pieces are here, and we will use them for the lentil once it boils. And then, so the rice, let's check the rice before I move from this part. You can see that the rice is almost ready. It's almost soft. As I said, you do not stir rice when it's cooking. Do not disturb it. Just look at it whether the water is almost done and make sure it doesn't burn, but do not stir rice when you are cooking. Okay, here back we are. We need to start making preparation on how we will serve our food as we wait for the lentils to start boiling, and then we put in all the other ingredients. So I clear my table for what we don't need at the time, and then I put the dish that we will use to serve the salad. So actually the way we save time is we have everything together ready. So when we get the food, we just, mix and just put on the table, mix and put on the table. So we don't have to start looking for one item after another. So the rice is ready now. And we are going to serve it here. And we are going to put our salad here so that we can add as much as we can. But before we serve the rice, we are going to put the ingredients we put in the rice before we bring it and serve it here. So they are here, they are mixed. And what we can do, it's now ready. The water is finished. And you can see here, the water is finished for the rice and it's ready. I put off the fire. And this is a bigger fireplace, so I will put the lentils on that side. And you can see I have uncovered them because that form, it's the protein in the lentil that comes up when we boil. So it pours over. So I now uncover them to cook. So what I will do now is to add my ingredients to the rice in the pot, not on the plate, in the pot. So and mix here. Because if we add on the plate, it will be very strong for one person. So we mix it in the pot. It's here, it's very, the lime is very, very, you can hear you can feel the aroma. Forget my lime peel. That will make it more tasty than just the juice. So actually the lime is very strong than the lemon in terms of the aroma. So that's why I put the peel of the lime in. Our rice is ready for serving. With the rice, once it has cooked and it's ready for serving, I just leave it for a few minutes and then serve it. Because I open it, it will be cold and it will not. So I'll just leave it to set with the ingredients for a few minutes. You can see our lentil on the other side. So we are ready with the rice, we are ready with the salad. So what we are going to do, I'm going to go to the main table and show you how we put together the salad. So what are we going to use today? You can use the carrot, the cabbage. So little of everything, just to make it colorful. Because we usually say food is a science and it's an art. So you can put as many colors as you like. At the base, I'll put cabbage. And then better to use another thumb to use for different, so that I don't mix the ingredients. So I use this to get the carrots. This one, there's no rule. It just depends on how you like it and how your family members like it. There are some who don't like cucumber, they like tomato. There are some who don't like cabbage, they like another vegetable. So you just put according to what people will like best in your family. And sometimes, like for my children, one likes tomato, one likes corn, one likes the other. So sometimes I just put salad in and everybody serves how they like, the ingredients they like to put on their plate. So here we are putting cucumber on top. I just use all our ingredients here because we want to see how it turns out with the ingredients that we prepared. So I put the cucumber and the carrots and the cabbage. I'll lastly do the pepper. Only a few. So the rest of the ingredients, you see, I just put a little and cover immediately because I don't want them to continue reacting with the oxygen. So everything, once you serve, please do not forget to cover it. So we have our salad here. And we'll place it here and I show you the final product of what we have. And then we have our rice, but we leave our rice so that we maintain the heat because we are still making the lentil. So with the lentil, we have uncovered and we are waiting for them. The orange lentils, they become soft very quickly. It's not like the yellow ones. So in another pan, I will put celery and garlic and well, the rice will come out of the way then. We'll use that. We'll use the water, little water. So I'll spotlight this side so we can see it. Yeah. So I have my pan here. I put the garlic and celery. So this is celery. You already have it, but the garlic is not chopped. So we are going to chop our 3 cloves of garlic. You can put more if you like garlic. So with spices, with herbs, it depends on your taste. There's not too much. There's not too little. It depends on how you like it. So, but we are going to use 3 cloves according to our recipe. I'm not going to change that. So I'm chopping garlic as I showed in the previous time. I was just doing finely chopped. Finely chopped means I do not raise my knife up. So as I do this, I know that garlic and ginger, it's not something that we run to when we don't have time in the kitchen. So what I usually do is, for me to have garlic and ginger ready, I show you one more tip about the ginger and garlic. Garlic, you can just have even any other helping person in the house to just remove for you the cover and then have them. You can store them in another glass container, or you can do them in the morning if you are thinking of doing a dish in the evening using garlic. So this I prepared just a few cloves before this presentation. But this is not something that you have to do by yourself. If someone is sitting there watching TV, they can do that as they do something. And ginger, this, we use it as a concoction when we have a common cold, but we should have it at home at all times. Ginger, what I did with this ginger, I just washed it, and then I took the small part of the grinder, what we used to grind our nuts or some in the food processor, just this part. You can use it because for the blender, it will splash all over and it will be too much, but we are only using little. So I put the ginger in here and I put little water and cover it and crushed it. Just make a paste. Do not make it so watery. Just make a paste that you can use for any meal when you are starting to make a stew. Why? Because I have seen this actually from experience that when I use ginger in the foods at home, especially in the cold season, I know Nairobi is cold around this time, people do not develop a cold. So we don't need to make the concoction when we have the cold. Let's use the ginger on a daily basis. And because it takes a long time to prepare ginger and garlic, just make a small bottle, make a little paste and keep it in. This, when I come to prepare my stew, I just take a little and put it back in the fridge. You can use this for another 2 or 3 days and then prepare a new one. You don't need to keep it for the whole week because then it won't stay for so long. But at least you have it ready in the evening, because when you come and start chopping garlic, chopping ginger, it takes time. But if you have in your small bottle, you just add, put onion, put the ginger, and you're done. So here I go back to our garlic. It's ready now. And I will put celery and garlic in the pot and some water. So the first thing, I need water. To saute my celery, I put the fire low. Then I put about a tablespoon and a half. And give it a few minutes. I put the celery. You see, the celery that we prepared for salad, it's almost done. So it's actually easy to have the ingredients stored in your fridge, because now I use almost everything that I prepared. So I'll need to prepare more. You see, it's now starting to make some sound. So put in the garlic. And what I should not forget is to keep stirring, because I put very little water. If I leave it and forget about it, it will burn. So you can put pepper, but it's not, it's an optional thing. But since we put pepper in our salad, I'm going to skip that because we have it here. Though you can put, if you love pepper, both cooked and fresh. So I'll do this, and then I need to put my dania, the little that remain. Now I have finished all this. You see, we had a lot of ingredients prepared for our salad, but they are all gone. So I put coriander. I'm adding a little water because it's sticking onto the pot. I'll show you as I do it. It has a very nice aroma. If you were in, it was a live class, you would actually get the feel of it. So if you feel like it's sticking down, your vegetables are sticking, one, you need to use like a stainless steel pot, but still, even if it's stainless steel and the heat is a little higher, the vegetables will just start sticking. So just add a little water at a time. And then this we do for 2 minutes. And then what we'll do, we'll add it to the lentil. I said that that type of lentil cooks, it's actually cooked now. We add it to the lentil, and then once we add it, we'll cook a little bit, and then we'll mix the lemon juice and the lemon slices later when we are about to remove in the last 3 minutes. So I'll just show you what I have on the pot. It does the browning like the oil does. I'll put this in the lentil, but I don't want to waste anything, so I put some water to get everything. Put off the fire on this side, and let's see our lentil. It's become like some kind of porridge or some kind of, it's very soft. So I have my garlic, ginger, coriander. I'll put it in. And remember that we put 4 cups of water so that we don't keep adding water onto the lentil. It will just use the water that we put at the beginning. So I just tie. The lentil is actually all gone. It's already. So just to mix with this ingredient. And then what remains is just to put our lemon, and then we will serve it. So we will use that with the rice and with the salad. So we have the salad ready. If the things, you see, like the rice, we didn't serve it yet because it's still warm. The salad, because we are not yet ready to eat, we'll just cover it a little bit and keep away anything else that we don't need at the moment. All we remain with is the lemon. We have put a lot of lemon, as you can see. Lemon is very important at home. And it will be very lemony dinner or lunch because we have lemon in the rice, we have lemon in the lentil. So for the salad, to dress it, usually we use lemon. But now that we have lemon here to make this other food tasty, we can use any other dressing. Usually we have like sesame seeds, simsim. We can make that into a paste and put some lemon and some little honey to make it sweeter and then use it as a dressing. Or we can use any other herbs to make our dressing. So in this part, I will leave the option for the dressing out, because you can either use dressing or you can use the stew. When you serve all the food with the stew and it already has lemon, you then need the dressing. But if you prefer to have dressing, then you can prepare it aside and use it. Another easy way to make dressing is actually use one ingredient which is in my fridge. I could show you is red pepper. We already used it in the salad, but this one, if you roast it and then blend it and mix it with the paste from sesame seed, it makes a very good dressing. So that you can try and dress the salad if actually you would prefer to add a dressing onto this meal. But for now, we will just concentrate on our stew and our rice, and then we have a few minutes to serve it and we will enjoy it. So we put that in, it's mixed. So the next thing is to add lemon juice and lemon slices. What we did, we have lemon slices here. And so I will need, lemon juice was only another 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So I'll prepare that because I already used a lot of lemon. So I will prepare a tablespoon. Also, you can just use the lemon slices, but the lemon slices, once they cook in, you can just use one out to serve it, to show garnishing on the outside. It looks good, but we can just make another lemon, tablespoon of lemon. Actually, we can even use this one because we only need a tablespoon. Just to make it concentrated. I know you're wondering, why should we put lemon peels and still use lemon juice? It's just to mix it in the stew to make it concentrated. I only used 1 slice of the slices that I have, which can make a tablespoon. So what I'm going to do now, because lentils are actually so much put there, let us see them. I'll put in lemon slices for half a lemon. And 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And mix this and leave them to cook for about 3 minutes, just to mix. Make it mixed up.
Maybe while you are still cooking there are 2 questions or comments which have been made. What do you add to the rice, the ingredients? There are some who came late. And secondly, why would you prefer to use stainless steel pots rather than aluminum pots? You can be answering while you are doing your preparation. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that. Yeah, I see the questions in the chat. What did I add in the rice? In the rice? Oh, probably, yeah, I went quickly. Let me go back to the rice recipe. I put it up so that it's easy to. So yeah, it's brown rice. I put water and I put boiling water so that the brown rice will cook quickly. So I put the brown I put boiling water, and then I put back the rice in the fire. And then I added coriander and added zest of 1 lime, just the outer covering, what we use like for making mandazi, you know, you just grate the outside cover of the lime. And then I put that same lime, I did not throw it away. So I used half a cup. Actually, the whole lime became a quarter cup of lime juice. So that makes it concentrated. And actually, if I open it, I can feel the lime aroma. So, and then I put garlic, I put lemon, and I avoided the peel because I already put a lot of lemon juice. So here it's optional whether you can put the peel or not. But I have put the peels on the lentil. So I did not waste the lemon. You can see it there in the pot. So that's what I put in the rice. It's preparing lime and coriander brown rice, which makes the brown rice, it makes it tasty because we did not put any oil and only salt. And then the other question was why we must move from aluminum pots to stainless steel for cooking. This is very important because when we have aluminum pots, aluminum gets to the food. It leaches, it's known to be like we can have particles of aluminum into the food. Not physical, you cannot see them, but actually aluminum, when we cook it, even when you put an aluminum pot outside with some water and the water evaporates, you can find the residue. So we actually, aluminum pots are cheap, but they are dangerous to cook. So we don't want our health to be compromised because of the equipment we are using. So aluminum pots are, we actually need to move away from them. Stainless steel does not do the same thing like aluminum. Stainless steel, it helps, it's like non-stick. It doesn't make the food to stick there, and it does not leach anything or any particles into the food. So it's a safe way to prepare our food. The other thing that we need to move away from is the non-stick, the black covered, like it's called the Teflon. Teflon is also known to be a dangerous material when we are making our foods, because it's, yes, it's good because it's stainless. I mean, it's good because it's non-stick. It doesn't, the food does not burn, but it's not healthy for us to prepare food in that. So that is why stainless steel pots are the best choice for us to move to. Also, the same thing happens with plastic, especially when we put hot food into plastic containers. Plastic is known to be found in the food like microplastics. And so it's, for our health, we need to move away from aluminum, from plastics, and use, that's why I said, let's use glass, because glass, this heavy duty glass will not break easily, but it's also safer because it does not leach into the food. That's why we need to change our cooking utensils. Okay, thank you. I think those are the 2 other questions that came up. And so we'll go back and see our lentil. As I was talking, I reduced the fire a bit. So we go back and see here. It's now become thick, and we only needed to do this for 3 minutes. So we are well beyond 3 minutes, and I'm going to put out the fire and serve our lentils. So our meal is ready, and all we need to do is serve it and enjoy it. So we have made our stew. We did not put in any tomato, any other things, but you can add as you like. So we have our lentil. I just get serving dish, and we are going to serve our lentil. Use a pepper serving spoon. As you can see, I did not add any water other than the 4 cups. And you will see the outcome. It's just a stew. There is no need to add water because you won't know how much water to add in the middle, and you might make it very runny, or you may add too little and it will stick on the pot. So I measured 4 cups in the beginning, and I did not add anything else. So I'm serving it and putting sliced lemon on top because I want to make it presentable. And I keep the rest aside, which is extra. And then we will also now serve our rice. It's still warm and good to use. And once you open the pot, the lime just hits you. And I'm sure even if it does not have oil or salt, the aroma that it has, you will enjoy before even you taste it. So usually in our plate, for good health, we have half of the plate you put vegetables. So when you have ready salads, please put half of your plate vegetables. So I put the dish for the lentil aside, but I'm going to put a little rice on the plate and leave the half of the plate because I will put their salad. It's good to train ourselves, even if we do not eat that much vegetable. When you have cooked vegetable and salad, you can keep enjoying it. So make it a habit that at least half of your plate goes in with vegetables. Why? Vegetables are very important, as we know, and we have to make it a habit for it to stick. So in serving, especially children who don't like vegetables, I keep encouraging, even when they don't want it. I tell them the importance of vegetables, and because I say it every day, they keep reminding me, you said vegetables are important. So even when they don't want to eat them, they will eat. It's also the same thing with adults. So I will just move this near the camera so we can see what we prepared today. And for the lentil, I'm going to use, I have extra leaves of the coriander that I did not chop. That's my coriander. Just to make it colorful, I will just get 1 leaf like that. And then I will put it on top of the lemon. And you know, presentation is halfway through the consumption of the meal. So if the presentation is poor, the people you are cooking for, they will already think that the food is not tasty. But if it looks fresh and there's a coriander leaf on top, and it's not messed on the side. So I'm cleaning it up to make sure it's clean and nice. Then people will enjoy the meal. I'm going to put it very close to the cooking area because that's where you can easily see what's going on. I wish that we could be in person so that we could test what we have made and we could feel the aroma of the food. But since we are not for now, let's just show it online. And I hope that we will try these recipes so that you can actually get a gist of what we prepared for this time. So I'll spotlight this one so that you can see. The camera a little bit towards the food. So this food has no oil, this food has no salt, but it has a very good aroma. We used simple ingredients for both meals. And you can have this for one meal or you can make different, you can have the lentil with something else like chapati or something else. And you can have the rice in another meal with a different stew. But we put them together because we are using the same ingredients. Yeah. So this is actually our final outcome. I'll put it closer to the camera for you to see more clearly. This is our lentil. So I put the coriander leaf on top of the lemon. There it is. And then this is our rice. I just served a little bit of the rice and a lot of vegetables because it's healthier to have a lot of vegetables in every meal. So that's what we have prepared today. And our time is gone. I hope I managed to answer all your questions. But if I didn't, I will leave you with the contact. But before that, I have one last slide just to encourage you about health. And this is about the things we need to eat and the things we need to avoid. And it's an acronym: avoid SOFAs. Sleeping and just not being physically active is something that we can remember from this presentation. SOFAs means avoid sugar, oil. Flour means that you have cut the whole grain into flour. So sugar, oil, flour, alcohol, of course, is not good, and salt. So avoid SOFAs and avoid the SOFA itself. So thank you very much for listening. And if you have more questions or would like to contact, the contact is on the screen. Please feel free to ask. As when we were starting, I said that my passion is chronic disease management and prevention. Anybody who has hypertension, diabetes, cancer, you go to the hospital and the doctor says you have this diagnosis, then you wonder, what do I eat now? We can help you with that decision. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoy the presentation. Thank you very much. Bye. So I will hand over to Elder to close up and we can go to the next.